Well, I never really too want on feet, you know. I just want a meditation, you know.
Often compared to Bob Marley, Buju Banton is a legendary icon in reggae music known for his powerful lyrics and unique style. However, his journey has been marked by highs and lows. Do you know Buju went to prison for 10 years? But his comeback was as if such a thing never happened. He hosted a show that had over 30,000 people in attendance. Even those who weren't incarcerated couldn't boast of such. From endless controversies to unexpected setbacks and scandals, Buju fought his way to the top with resilience. Let's take a ride into the world of this icon, taking a glimpse into his lifestyle, mansions, net worth, as well as a few controversies surrounding his name. Ready? Let's go! Buju Banton's net worth is estimated to be about $3 million US. While he may not be as wealthy as global superstars like Bob Marley or Sean Paul, Buju is still considered one of the generation's most financially successful reggae and dancehall artists. Buju didn't become a music legend overnight. He has spent more than 30 years in the industry, earning from album sales, live shows, and world tours. In the early 90s, he broke records by shifting from raw dancehall to thoughtful reggae, connecting with fans around the world. Albums like Till Shiloh and Inna Heights are still streamed today, generating steady royalties through platforms like Spotify and YouTube. Before his arrest in 2009 for substance-related charges, Buju was already financially secure. After a mistrial in 2010, he was convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Surprisingly, his time behind bars increased his fame. While incarcerated, he released the album Before the Dawn, which won a Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. Even in tough times, Buju's music and legacy continued to grow globally. When he was released in 2018, his fans were still waiting. His 2019 Long Walk to Freedom concert in Kingston drew over 30,000 people, one of Jamaica's biggest reggae shows in years according to Billboard. That tour was not only emotional, but also profitable, with stops in Barbados, Trinidad, and the Bahamas bringing in solid revenue. This remarkable success left everyone wondering what happened to him in prison. Before we go further, let's talk a little about his background. Buju was born on July the 15th, 1973 in Kingston, Jamaica, the heart of reggae and dancehall. He grew up in Salt Lane, a rough neighborhood full of poverty but rich in talent. Music, culture, and the lively streets surrounded him from the start, shaping the artist he became. His nickname Buju came from his mother, who called him that as a child because of his chubby cheeks. Buju is also a Jamaican word for breadfruit, a round, plump fruit. The name stuck. When he started his music career, he added Banton to honor Buju Banton, a dancehall legend he admired. In Jamaica, Banton means a respected lyricist or storyteller, a title Buju earned. He was influenced by some legendary Jamaican artists growing up. Names like Josie Wales, Shabba Ranks, and Buju Banton were his musical heroes. He started DJing his talent as a young teen and got his first big break in the late 1980s when he began recording with Robert French, one of the few people who believed in Buju's raw talent early on. By the time he was in his late teens, Buju had already developed a rough, energetic style that stood out in the crowded dancehall scene. Then in 1992, everything changed. His album Mr. Mention exploded in Jamaica. That year alone, he scored more #1 hits on the Jamaican charts than any other artist in history. Songs like Love Me Browning, Batty Rider, and Bogle made him a household name. The album became the best-selling Jamaican album at the time, and Buju had officially arrived. His popularity didn't go unnoticed internationally. In the mid-1990s, Buju Banton signed a deal with Mercury Records under Polygram, one of the major music labels. This deal helped him take his music beyond the Caribbean and into the global spotlight. It also began his shift from raw dancehall to more conscious, spiritual reggae. In 1995, he released the critically acclaimed album Till Shiloh, which showed a more mature, introspective side of his. The album shows his growing Rastafarian beliefs and features powerful songs like Untold Stories, resonating with people far beyond Jamaica. critics praised it, and Rolling Stone called it a bold and beautiful reinvention, and the depth and soul of the music moved his fans.
Will express themselves, will get more sexualized, will get more slangy.
Buju Banton's music career is nothing short of legendary. From the early 90s to now, he has remained one of the most powerful voices in reggae and dancehall, constantly evolving and influencing generations across the globe. He first made headlines in 1992 when he broke a major Jamaican record by having the most #1 singles in a single year, beating out even Bob Marley. That same year, his album Mr. Mention became the best-selling album in Jamaican history according to the Jamaica Gleaner. He quickly became known for his raw, gritty dancehall style that matched Kingston streets. However, Buju didn't stay in one lane. In the mid-90s, he shocked fans and critics with a major transformation. He ditched the hardcore lyrics and embraced conscious, spiritual reggae. His 1995 album, Till Shiloh, was a turning point. It included songs like Untold Stories and Wanna Be Loved that showed his depth and emotional side. Critics loved it. Rolling Stone called the album one of the most important reggae records since Bob Marley's passing. He has stayed relevant for over 30 years because he can pivot from one style to another without losing his audience. While other artists faded, Buju kept growing. He's released over 10 studio albums, won a Grammy Award, and earned multiple nominations. Even after serving nearly 7 years in prison, he returned stronger than ever. His 2019 comeback tour sold out venues across the Caribbean and beyond. The fact that he could go away for that long and return to roaring crowds showed how deeply fans were connected to him. Buju's influence goes way beyond Jamaica. He has collaborated with international stars like Stephen Marley, Damian Marley, DJ Khaled, Nas, and John Legend. His voice and message have reached people in Africa, Europe, the US, and Latin America. Buju Banton's career is a story of musical, personal, and spiritual growth. In the early stages of his rise, Buju was known for hard-hitting, slack lyrics, a term used in Jamaica to describe songs filled with raw, controversial themes. This was common in dancehall then, and Buju was a major voice in that scene. However, in a move that surprised many, Buju evolved. As he grew older and became more rooted in Rastafarianism, his music began to reflect deeper, more spiritual messages. Albums like Till Shiloh and Inner Heights were seen as powerful transitions away from the party-heavy, controversial content of his early work. These records were filled with songs about struggle, faith, love, and self-awareness. Critics and fans alike praised them. AllMusic described Till Shiloh as a landmark reggae album, and Billboard called Inner Heights an uplifting and passionate work. These albums helped Buju redefine himself as a dancehall star and a global reggae ambassador. They expanded his audience, gaining fans in Africa, Europe, and the Americas who connected with the heartfelt and conscious messages. But now, we've done enough on his successes. Let's see a few of the scandals and setbacks he went through. Ever heard of the saying, "The internet never forgets things"? His 1992 track, Boom Bye Bye, which he recorded as a teenager, contained violently anti-gay lyrics, including a chorus that called for the death of homosexuals. The song resurfaced in the early 2000s as Buju's fame grew internationally, triggering widespread backlash, especially in the US and Europe, where LGBTQ+ advocacy was much stronger and more vocal. Major protests erupted. LGBTQ+ groups like GLAAD and Outrage in the UK led campaigns to boycott his shows and pressure promoters to cancel concerts. And many did. Buju lost bookings, endorsements, and invitations to perform in cities like San Francisco, Los Angeles, and London. In some cases, protests outside venues led to actual show cancellations. To his credit, Buju later attempted to distance himself from the song. Over the years, he stated that Boom Bye Bye did not show his current beliefs. In a 2007 press release, Buju's team said the artist has not performed the song in over a decade and will not include it in his performances. He also signed the Reggae Compassionate Act in 2007, an agreement promoted by several reggae artists promising to denounce violence against any group including the LGBTQ+ community. However, critics argued that Buju didn't go far enough in condemning the song. Some claimed he remained vague or defensive when directly questioned about it. Buju often focused on his spiritual growth and music evolution in interviews rather than issuing a firm apology. That also led to a mixed public reaction. While many fans, especially in Jamaica and among Rastafarians, stood by him, others felt his science or ambiguity was telling. The controversy had a definite impact on his public image in the U.S., especially among liberal audiences and LGBTQ+ allies. It also complicated his reputation among major international music circles. Nonetheless, in Jamaica and across the Caribbean, where cultural views on homosexuality are often more conservative, Buju's standing remained largely intact. Regardless of the controversy, many in the region saw him as a symbol of artistic excellence. This further weakened his defense when he was arrested in 2009, notably for conspiracy to distribute cocaine. He was convicted in 2011 and sentenced to 10 years in prison. Buju served his time at the United States Penitentiary in Marion, Illinois. While in prison, he focused on his music and personal growth, using the time to reflect and write new songs. He was released on December 2018 after serving nearly 8 years. Interestingly, fans were more focused on celebrating his return, his resilience, and the fact that he remained creatively strong despite his time away. In 2020, he dropped the album Upside Down, which included collaborations with Pharrell Williams, John Legend, and Stephen Marley. Aside from the scandals, who is Buju behind the cameras? When you think of reggae legends, Buju Banton ranks high on the list for his music and the smart way he has managed his wealth over the years. While exact figures vary, reports estimate his net worth to be $3 million. That's no small feat, especially considering the massive setback of his incarceration from 2011 to 2018. Despite that, Buju has not only preserved his financial standing, but has arguably grown it. Let's start with the most obvious income stream: music royalties. Buju Banton has been a recording artist since the late 1980s, with songs like Destiny, Untold Stories, Wanna Be Loved, and Champion, which are still streamed and played worldwide. Albums like Till Shiloh and Inna Heights continue to sell and stream in digital and physical formats. According to Spotify data, Buju receives millions of monthly streams, translating to a consistent flow of royalty checks. Nonetheless, music sales aren't the whole story. Performance fees and international tours have long been Buju's bread and butter. Before his incarceration, he toured across Europe, the US, and Africa, pulling in crowds of thousands. After his release, the buzz was electric. His first concert back, the Long Walk to Freedom Tour, was one of the most talked about events in reggae history. Speaking of merchandise, Buju has tapped into independent merchandise sales to connect directly with fans. His official channels sell branded apparel, vinyl reissues, and limited edition items featuring his signature dreadlocked image or lyrics. This gives him control over profits and builds fan loyalty all at the same time. As for brand deals, while Buju has stayed away from heavy commercial endorsements, possibly due to his spiritual and cultural beliefs, there are whispers of collaborations with Caribbean lifestyle brands and wellness companies, especially those aligned with natural living and conscious products. These deals are under the radar, but offer passive income. Another lesser-known aspect of Buju's wealth is his real estate portfolio. He reportedly owns several properties in Jamaica, including a private residence in the hills outside Kingston. He also invested in studio and rehearsal spaces, which may generate rental or production income. Buju has also dabbled in agriculture, a common investment for Jamaican artists. Farming ties in well with his Rastafarian beliefs around self-sufficiency in nature. While not flashy, this is a long-term wealth builder that aligns with his lifestyle. One of the smartest moves Buju has made is keeping his team tight and his spending under control. Unlike many stars who burn through their earnings, Buju's simple lifestyle has allowed him to avoid unnecessary extravagance. He once said in an interview that true riches are in the heart, not the pocket. But still, you have to make wise moves. Despite being one of the biggest names in reggae, Buju lives what many would describe as a low-key life, especially since his return from prison in 2018. While some artists flaunt luxury cars, diamonds, or high-end fashion, Buju leans more into simplicity, Rastafarian values, and spiritual expression. Since the mid-90s, when his music started shifting toward conscious themes, he has made it clear that his connection to Jah is not just musical, but deeply personal. In multiple interviews, Buju has emphasized that spirituality comes before fame or riches. Speaking at his Long Walk to Freedom concert in Kingston in 2019, he said on stage that he had been through the fire, and Jah carried him through. He said he had returned not with vanity, but with a message. He is frequently seen dressed in traditional Rastafarian attire, loose-fitting garments, earth tones, and his signature dreadlocks, which he has never cut. His appearance is always dignified but never showy. Buju's public persona is just as balanced. He doesn't chase headlines or stir up drama on social media. He avoids interviews unless they align with his values or have something meaningful to say. Though not always publicized, his charity efforts include supporting youth education and music programs. He often visits schools and cultural centers to speak with young people. Regarding leisure and lifestyle, Buju enjoys nature, reading, and meditating. He loves the Jamaican countryside and often retreats there to ride or relax. Close associates say Buju is most at peace when close to the mountains or the sea. He is also a fan of roots reggae vinyl, and it's said he has a personal collection of old-school reggae records. While he may not flaunt riches, Buju still has access to luxury when he wants it. He's known to own a few high-end vehicles, and his properties are spacious, private, and serene. However, his vibe isn't celebrity. It's more like reggae sage. In terms of fashion, comfort, and cultural rules, you'll hardly catch him in designer suits or flashy gold chains. Instead, he prefers dashikis, natural fiber shirts, and sandals fitting his Rastafarian roots. Buju's primary residence is said to be a beautiful mansion situated in the hills just outside Kingston, Jamaica. This location is perfect for someone who values privacy, nature, and peace away from the city's hustle and bustle. The property is rumored to have ample land, providing a serene escape with plenty of green space, which Buju has long appreciated, given his love for nature and farming. Inside the mansion, features reportedly include a private swimming pool, a large home recording studio, and top-tier security systems. The studio is especially important for Buju, who is invested in creating a personal space to produce music independently. After his release from prison, he emphasized the need to control his creative process, and having a home studio allows him that freedom. There are no widely publicized past properties linked to Buju. Still, sources suggest that over the years, he has owned other homes in Jamaica, possibly smaller ones, before upgrading to his current mansion. Like any artist, he likely sold or traded properties as his career progressed. Now let's talk about his cars. Buju's taste shows a mix of ruggedness and luxury that aligns with his personality, which is that of a man who values strength, reliability, and comfort. His known collection includes high-end SUVs and sedans, such as Range Rovers, Mercedes-Benz models, and BMWs. These vehicles suit the urban environment and the sometimes rougher Jamaican roads, showing his practical yet stylish approach. Fans and insiders have also noted Buju's interest in vintage and customized vehicles. Although he's not a flashy show-off type, he loves the character and craftsmanship of classic cars. This love for vintage rides echoes his respect for roots and tradition, themes often present in his music. Buju Banton is known for being private regarding his personal relationships. Unlike many celebrities who put their love lives in the spotlight, Buju prefers to keep this part of his world away from the public eye. Still, there are some details fans and the media have pieced together over the years. Buju is a father of 17 children, though he doesn't often speak publicly about them. Among his children, several have found success in various fields, carrying forward a legacy of hard work and talent. One of his sons, Jahaziel Myrie, has made a name for himself in the music industry, showing promise similar to his father's. Another child, Shaddai Myrie, has succeeded in business, establishing a reputation for determination and innovation. Sadly, Buju Banton also faced a heartbreaking loss when one of his children passed away. This loss deeply affected him and his family, reminding everyone of the fragility of life. Despite the challenges, Buju remains a dedicated father, celebrating the achievements of his children and honoring the memory of the one who is no longer with them. His family continues to be a source of strength, motivating him to keep moving forward both personally and professionally. Through ups and downs, Buju Banton's connection to his children remains a central part of his life, reflecting his commitment to family above all. Regarding his love life, there have been rumors about relationships and possible marriages, but very little has been officially confirmed. Buju's focus has generally been more on his music and spirituality than on sharing romantic details. His private nature means that fans only get glimpses through occasional photos or mentions by close associates. Buju will forever be considered one of the most important voices of his era and even beyond. His music entertained and also ministered deeply to the struggles and hopes of everyday Jamaicans. Songs like Till Shiloh and In a Heights are hailed as classics that elevated reggae's message beyond the island, bringing Jamaican culture to a global audience. His ability to evolve from hardcore slack dancehall lyrics to socially aware and uplifting themes set a new standard for artists who followed. When compared to legends like Bob Marley and Peter Tosh, Buju belongs in that conversation. Above all, he stands out as an artist, unafraid to confront controversy and personal challenges while delivering powerful music. So, what do you think of the legend? Tell us what you think of his songs and lifestyle in the comments. And thanks for watching. And kindly click on the next video on your screen.